Welcome, folks. Welcome to Cup of Joe. I'm JoPo Patriot. Well, we are recovering from that little hack. We got about half of our funds returned, and we're still fighting to get the other half. Anyways, it's all good. I was out yesterday with the drone and trying to get it. I can get it to follow me when I'm walking or if I'm on my bicycle. But when I take the ATV, I wanted it to follow me around and I wanted to go through some trails, but it seems it gets some electromagnetic interference or something, because I've got the transmitter right here above, you know, the dash here, and I don't know whether if I can create some kind of shield or something. But anyways, for the meantime, we're going to do with what we have. Anyways, you remember 2 weeks ago we were talking about Nicera, and the 20 facts it included? Well, when I was watching, reviewing the show, I noted, I forgot to mention, do you remember number 7? It was to do with reinstating the title of nobility amendment. You remember that? Well, what that was if you remember, it was basically pertaining to any member of government at any level, municipal, state, or provincial here in Canada, or federal, either of the three levels. If you had a title of nobility, so being whether you were appointed a knight, whether you were knighted or a lordship or whatever, anything to do with the crown, that what would happen is you would have your citizenship revoked from the U.S. or, you know, wherever, okay? So that was that amendment, the title of nobility amendment. Well, what I forgot to include was the British Accredited Registry, the bar. That's allegiance to the crown, okay? The British Accredited Registry. So, when you think about that, that means that if these people had a title and still snuck into the government, well, that would mean that they were, it was against the law, right? Yeah. It was against the Constitution to have a title of nobility to the crown and still maintain a public position in the U.S. So that would mean that going back to 1810 when they removed that amendment, okay, because they knew that they were going to come around and in 1870, whenever they knew that they were going to come and impose further sanctions or restrictions or whatever, the monetary policies, right, all pertaining to the Rothschilds and okay. So if so that means that anything that these devious they were dirty deeds done dirt cheap, okay? So these dirty deeds really, and well, any legislation, any act, anything at any of those three levels that was created while they were in tenure, then it's all null and void, right? Yeah, kind of interesting. So, jotted down some notes here so that I don't stray. So, we just discussed the title of nobility and that it includes the bar. Now, an interesting fact here, let me get my coffee. An interesting fact here is that it seems Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers, you know Benjamin Franklin? Yeah. Well, apparently Benjamin Franklin was like a double agent. Okay, this is, you've heard me talk about Russell J. Gould and David Wynn Miller, these two individuals, two patriots, true American patriots, okay? Russell J. Gould from Wisconsin, I'm not too quite sure about David Wynn Miller, maybe he was out of Michigan or something, but anyways, these two individuals, historians, they got digging into for the truth. How they met up, that's another topic, but anyways, what ended up happening was David Wynn Miller particularly got involved with the legal and the lawful aspect, okay, of contracts and okay, and Russell J. Gould, having done the research on the Constitution and all these steps involving the various bankruptcies. Apparently there were 3 bankruptcies. Anyways, all that study, these two individuals knew that last bankruptcy that in 1933, when they confiscated the people's gold, the British said, yeah, we can help you out with your bankruptcy, but what we're going to do is we're going to need the people's gold for collateral for the down payment on getting you out of bankruptcy. And then there's going to be a 66-year payment to repay back your payments on that bankruptcy. And the third clause of that agreement was that we rewrite the Constitution. So they rewrote the Constitution of the United States of America as a constitutional republic. They changed it, contract, to read the Constitution for the United States of America, all caps, the corporation, right? And they put the gold fringe around the flag to indicate that they were now a corporation, okay? Well, that ended. In that 66-year deal ended in, well, it came out in 33, 66 years later. So in 99, Russell J. Gould and David Wynn Miller were sitting around and waiting. Okay, let's see. Are they going to put us back into a constitutional republic? Or are they going to keep us in this corporation? Okay, that contract was done. Well, they were willing to stay with the corporation. That just goes to show you these puppets that were in place. And at the time in '99, it was Bill Clinton on his last year of his second term. So what ended up happening is, in their study, David Wynn Miller and Russell J. Gould, you know what they found out? They found out that Benjamin Franklin was a double agent, and what he was doing was he was acting in a role as a founding father, but really his allegiance was to the crown. Okay? And what we find out is that, think about this, whenever the Constitution was being developed, they had to, there's different things that governing a country is going to involve. There's going to be defense, so military, there's going to be communications, there's going to be transportation, there's going to be commerce, there's going to be all kinds of platforms or not committees, but basically what they did was they had individuals elected for certain responsibilities. And what did Benjamin Franklin do? Benjamin Franklin takes on the communications, and part of the communications was post office back then, right? They didn't have email and internet and all that. So basically it was the post. So then you come to find out that, you know what responsibility, what falls under the umbrella of the Postmaster General? You find out it's not only postal issues, the Constitution, he controls that. The flag, he controls that. The Supreme Court, the Postmaster General. Yeah. And then the military. So he knew that, advised under the British Crown to continue the Crown Corporation procedures of postal issues, and they cover. So think about this, the Commonwealth, Canada is a Commonwealth. So really, any country that's a Crown Corporation really has that power, the Postmaster General. So what ended up happening was, in 1999, they're sitting back, these two individuals, and they're waiting to see what the government's going to do. Are they going to be proactive and go back after the Constitution and become back the republic that they were intended to be? Or are they going to be puppets for the deep state? Well, it so happens that Clinton was a puppet for the deep state. So in truth, what ended up happening was, in '99, whenever that contract was over, Russell J. Gould took it upon himself to go after the Postmaster General position. And he did, and he acquired it. Okay? Through a lot of fighting, probably I think there was a couple of arrestations there. But anyways, so Russell J. Gould goes after the Postmaster General position. Okay? Then David Wynn Miller is going after the legal and the lawful aspect, and he's taking all acts, legislation, and basically saying that it was fraud. It was based on just simple grammar, contracts written in simple grammar instead of parse syntax. Parse syntax is the proper syntax to use in a contract. That means a fact is a fact is a fact. There's no two ways about it, okay? So anyways, Russell J. Gould goes on to take go after the Postmaster General. David Wynn Miller goes after creating what is now quantum law. And quantum law is basically a parse syntax language that all contracts, for them to be lawful, are written in. Okay, so that's what occurred there. Interesting, huh? Okay. So then. And didn't find out until after the fact. His father had died, so he goes and he's starting to clean up the property and get things in order. The bank shows up and tells him to get off the property. He's got 30 days to get off the property and whatever. All fraud. So it's a shame. So what ended up happening was that general had friends apparently that were in JAG, other generals that were, that's the legal part of the military, JAG, okay? It's, what is it, Judges, Advocate, Generals? I think that's what it stands for. Anyways, so JAG started looking into this. Well, the next thing you know, they find out that yes, sure, everything's basically as Russell J. Gould and David Wynn Miller were talking about. Okay, so what ends up happening is the military, basically, that's how they got involved with Q. So if you step back and you can see the BRICS, those BRICS nations now have grown. Mexico now is part of it. So if Mexico is part of it, and Mexico, think about this, what did Trump do? Trump got rid of the terrible North American Free Trade Agreement, okay? And he replaced it with the USMCA, which is the United States Mexico Canada Agreement, right? Do you not think that if Trump and Q, the Global Alliance, have a plan to go grow back currency, do you not think that that agreement included Mexico, the US, and Canada all? part of it. So if Mexico is part of it, and Mexico, think about this, what did Trump do? Trump got rid of the terrible North American Free Trade Agreement, okay? And he replaced it with the USMCA, which is the United States Mexico Canada Agreement, right? Do you not think that if Trump and Q, the Global Alliance, have a plan to go grow back currency, do you not think that that agreement included Mexico, the US, and Canada, all part of that? I bet you Jacera was built into that contract, okay? And you're going to see